what does canonical mean? Okay. First, focus on the text of the law. You know why? Because a legal opinion always has a textual anchor. Why? We are not a common law country. Therefore, focus on the text of the law. I am so amazed how some students study for the bar without reading the civil code. What do they read? Annotations. What do they read? Thousands of cases. But they forget to read the most basic instrument of all, the civil code. And let me share with you a personal experience. When I was taking the bar, I was panicking for civil law. Nagpapanik ako for civil law. And you know what I did? For several months, all I did was read the civil code and outlines in civil law by JBL Reyes. It was outdated. Kaya lang I had the civil code with me. And by the way, pumasa ako ng barko. And I'm now Justice of the Supreme Court, by the way, deciding on civil law cases. Okay. The point there is, you should always look at the text of the law. Okay. I am amazed how people say there is freedom of speech without being able to point to how our Constitution words freedom of speech in Section 4, Article 3. I am amazed that people, some takers of the bar, know that there is a requirement for a search warrant without familiarity with Section 2, Article 3 of the Constitution. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall be inviolable. That first sentence. Okay? Why am I able to memorize it? Because for every case that is involved, binabalikan ko yan. Therefore, you will have to be able to be familiar with the text. Second, when the court interprets a provision and applies it to a fact situation, one case comes out with a rule of the case, how this phrase shall be read. That's called ratio decidendi, right? Okay. But just one case that reads that provision, only one case, to me, single ratio decidendi, baka pag may bagong court, it will not read it the same way. Therefore, that ratio decidendi did not ripen to doctrine. So what is a doctrine? It's ratio decidendi repeated. Okay? But I said canon. And therefore, that makes your bar a bit more predictable. Okay? Di ko sasabihin easier, predictable na lang. Okay? Para hindi kayo umasa. Okay? Why? Because a canon is a doctrine that survives several generations of the court and repeated over and over. There will be marginal cases that goes against it, but for most of the cases, it will be interpreted in this way. For example, separation of powers. For example, judicial review. For example, hierarchy of courts, political law. Diba? So therefore, there will be that. Okay. Merong nagsasabi, there are new rules in civil procedure. Okay? Kabadong-kabado sila kasi may new rules. And to my mind, bakit kayo kinakabahan na may new rules? Ang dali nga yan eh. Kasi kung may new rules, the new rule will not have jurisprudence. You will not have to read jurisprudence kasi wala. Therefore, anong babasahin nyo? Yung code. And when the code says that not only ultimate facts but evidentiary facts will be alleged in a pleading, that's it. Wala na kayong hanapin na jurisprudence. Wala na kayong may ratio decidendi ba dito, may doctrine, merong canon. I thank you. In my mind, sana, thank you. Okay? Competition law. Oh my God. Ang hirap-hirap ng competition law. My God, where is the jurisprudence? Wala. Therefore, what do? You read the text of competition law and assisted by an annotation to make you understand what is generally meant by some of the technical terms there. Period. That's all. That's what I mean by canonical. That's what I mean by beginning competence. Okay? And therefore, that's all that it means. Okay. Thank you to all of those that have collated all my decisions and all of my dissents. Maraming salamat. Because that is proof that I have produced as much for the last 8 years. Okay? Yung mga sinasabi ng iba, wala daw ginagawa si Justice Leonen. My God. Basahin nyo yung dissent ko sa Imbong. Gaano kahaba yun? Basahin nyo yung dissent, yung concurring opinion ko sa cybercrime. Basahin nyo yung huli ko, yung falsis, Diocese of Bacolod, etc. Thank you for all of you that have collated it. And doon kayo nag-aaral. Baka ito lalabas yung kay Leonen. Okay. And here is the secret. You did that for me, not for you. Salamat. Okay? But it will only be helpful if the doctrine that I used in that case is canonical. Okay. If it's a divided court, then it's not canonical. If it is a divided court, it is not canonical. If I am the sole dissent, it's not canonical. Okay, in other words, why should I test you with what was the ruling of the court in the case of IATF? Okay, and the ruling of the court was simply the petition was dismissed. Eh, binasa nyo mahaba yung aking dissenting opinion doon. We should have asked them to comment because ganyan-ganyan and so on and so forth. Hindi yun na itatanong ko. That's unfair. Okay, maybe good for me, good for my ego, but unfair for you as a practicing lawyer. Okay. Here is the philosophy behind it. When you practice law, okay, you practice to a judge. You practice to the Supreme Court. Your legal opinion is not powerful unless it can hold 8 votes in the Supreme Court, at least. Any legal opinion you have, kahit ang gaganda ng sinulat nyo, gumagamit kayo na may hirap na English in order to impress your client, that cannot hold if the Supreme Court has read it differently. Okay, so therefore, I test you in your ability to find out what is canonical with this Supreme Court. In other words, all 15 of us will agree. Therefore, that is what I believe to be canonical. Okay, but jurisprudence being what it is, sometimes there is a wayward case. Merong nagkakamali na isang division, etc. But it's a canonical doctrine. Like for example, what is meeting of the minds? Diba? Definite offer, unqualified acceptance. Dahil matagal na yung civil code natin, there is a concept of what a definite offer is and what is an unqualified acceptance. Okay? Pag hindi nyo alam, huwag kayo munang kabahan kasi marami pa kayong time. After this, buksan nyo na lang yung codal nyo para alamin. Para hindi kayo masyadong kabahan. But that nonetheless, therefore, is what I mean by canonical. Okay, therefore, review the text of the law, focus on the canonical doctrine. So, useless pala, binasa ko yung mga dissent ni Leonen. Well, hindi naman, kasi at least merong ngayon nagbabasa ng dissent ko, but also, sometimes separate opinions lay down what it believes to have been canonical. Okay? Except that the majority twisted another issue. And therefore, that will be the value. Parang annotation yan. Okay? But it depends on you. Where will you spend a lot of your time? And for me, you will spend a lot of your time reviewing the codals and thinking about how the Supreme Court has interpreted the codals.
Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next one. Write in the comments below where you are watching this from so I can personally thank you. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified whenever I post. See you on the next one.